Another update on Bihar voter roll. In India, voting is one of the strongest rights we have as citizens. It's the way we choose our leaders and have our say in how the country is run. But in Bihar, a new process for updating the voter list has started a big legal and political debate. This process is called the Special Intensive Revision, or SIR for short. It's meant to update the electoral roll, basically the official list of all people who can vote. But some say this process could wrongly remove a lot of names from the list, especially before the upcoming state election. The matter has now reached the Supreme Court, where lawyers, the Election Commission of India and judges are discussing whether this process is fair, legal and constitutional. Let's break down what's happening, why it matters and what both sides are saying. Supreme Court called Bihar as voter-friendly. The Election Commission decided to carry out a special intensive revision of the electoral rolls in Bihar. This means officials are checking the voter list more carefully than usual, asking people to show certain documents to confirm they are eligible to vote. The draft voter list, a temporary version, was published on August 1. The final list is expected on September 30. Just ahead of election, opposition parties and civil groups have claimed that as many as 65 lakh voters, that's 6.5 million people, have already been left out of the draft list. Petitioners, including senior lawyers like Abhishek Manu Sinhavi, Kapil Sibal and Gopal Shankaran Nair, urge that this process is risky because mass deletion risk, they believe, names are being removed without proper verification. Heavy document requirements. The Election Commission have listed 11 types of documents people can show, like passports, land papers or educational certificates. But critics say many people in Bihar don't have these, especially in rural and flood-prone areas. Burden of proof on voters instead of the Election Commission proving why someone should be removed. People now have to prove they should stay on the list. Gopal Shankaran Nair said the right to remain on the voter list is a statutory right, meaning it's guaranteed by law and cannot be taken away casually. He urged that there's no procedure in the law for removing names in this sweeping way. Singhavi said this SIR is being pushed and could exclude many women, vulnerable communities, as they may lack the list documents. They pointed out that in the past, states like Maharashtra and Arunachal Pradesh were not subjected to such revisions in an election year. They believe Bihar is being treated differently. Singhavi also noted that some documents on the ECI's list are very rare, like passports are held by less than 1% of the population, making the progress exclusionary. The Election Commission urged that the SIR is legal under Section 21(3) of the Representation of the People Act, which allows them to conduct special revision in such matter as it may think fit. Multiple documents can be used to prove citizenship more than what was allowed in previous revisions in other states like Jharkhand. This is only a draft list, so if there are mistakes, people can correct them before the final list is published. Errors are normal in such larger exercise but can be fixed through booth-level officers. What have the judges said so far? Justice Surya Kant and Justice Joy Malya Bakshi are hearing the case. Justice Bakshi said the law gives the ECI some elbow room, meaning flexibility to decide how to conduct these revisions. Justice Kant said the provisions must align with the Constitution and pointed out that if people can show documents proving they are legitimate residents, the burden shifts back to the ECI. They also noted that Aadhaar and voter ID cards alone are not conclusive proof of citizenship. They need to be supported by other documents. The judges have acknowledged that mistakes may have happened but also recognized the ECI's willingness to fix them. The hearing is still going on. The Supreme Court will have to decide whether the ECI's method for the SIR is legal and fair, if enough protection exists to ensure no eligible voter is wrongly removed, whether doing such a large revision in an election year is justified. The decision could affect millions of voters in Bihar and possibly influence how voter lists are revised in other states in the future. As the Supreme Court hears more arguments and weighs both sides, one thing is certain: the outcome will not only decide who can vote in Bihar this election, but could also set the tone for how India protects or challenges the right to vote in the years to come.